Think about your typical morning routine. The light is just starting to hit the window, and before your feet even touch the floor, you reach for your smartphone. In a split second, you are scanning a torrent of breaking news notifications, supply chain panics, economic collapses, and political scandals, all splashed across the screen in vibrant red. This immediate input triggers a biological response, flooding your nervous system with cortisol and adrenaline. Before you have even left your bed, your baseline emotional state for the entire day is set to a level of high-alert anxiety. However, when you eventually step outside to look at your actual neighborhood, you see a different world. Children are playing, neighbors are mowing their lawns. Life carries on with a quiet, mundane predictability. This is a jarring disconnect. The burning world projected through your phone bears almost no resemblance to the physical reality right outside your front door. To see how this device is used to manage your perception of the world, subscribe to this channel for our weekly breakdowns. This gap between the screen and the street is the result of an engineered environment, an apparatus that prioritizes the manufacturing of fear to keep public attention fixed, distracted, and manageable. To understand why your digital feed focuses on catastrophe, look at the underlying economics. In the modern media landscape, fear and outrage are the most profitable commodities available. This chart illustrates the attention economy. Notice this flat line. That represents calm, objective reporting. It generates very little engagement. But screaming, panic-inducing narratives drive the clicks and ratings that translate directly into advertising revenue. Beyond the headlines, social media platforms utilize psychological algorithms designed to keep you engaged by trapping you within hyper-targeted ideological silos. When you engage with content that triggers an emotional response, the algorithm feeds you more of the same. This loop reinforces your existing biases until you are effectively enclosed in a world where fringe ideas feel like an undeniable consensus. Here, your worldview is shaped by a system designed to monetize your internal state of fight or flight. Mass manipulation is an old science. Structural theorists like Edward Bernays demonstrated that when the same simplified talking points are repeated relentlessly across every major outlet, the public begins to adopt coordinated messaging as their own independent thought. You see this when different networks use the exact same phrasing and emotional framing simultaneously. The audience mistakes a coordinated script for independent journalistic investigation. This machine functions by flooding the public square with competing crises and scandals. This overwhelming volume leads to cognitive exhaustion. When citizens face complex, terrifying problems they cannot solve, their capacity for critical thinking shuts down. This state of paralysis makes a population vulnerable. People become willing to accept top-down decrees simply to find a moment of psychological relief from the noise. Breaking this cycle requires an honest assessment of how these inputs affect your mind. This begins with a sovereign audit. First, how much of your daily anxiety and sense of urgency is directly traceable to the digital alerts and news feeds you consume before noon? Second, where have you caught yourself repeating media talking points as your own original insights without ever verifying the primary sources or questioning the motive behind the narrative? To reclaim your focus, you must implement strict boundaries. Step 1 is an information quarantine. Immediately disable breaking news alerts and stop treating doom scrolling as a civic duty. Step 2, shift from reactive consumption to proactive study. Replace sensationalized headlines with primary source documents and the mastery of practical, real-world skills. Step 3, anchor your awareness in physical reality. When a report triggers panic, turn off the screen. Focus your energy on what you can directly touch, influence, and protect: your family, your business, and your local community. For a complete roadmap on building this kind of localized independence, you can find the guide Unapologetically Sovereign by Jeanette Larson at the link below. Withdrawing your consent from the digital spectator stands allows you to stop spending your attention on a rigged game. Ground your mind in what is tangible and start building strength where you live.